Welcome back to the workshop, and as you can see, what's laid out on the bench there is not normal light painting tools, but what I'm going to make today are some fire sticks. You don't need a lot of equipment to make these up, but a couple of main components are sticks and material that we're going to set fire to a bit later. So these are dowels. They're 14mm diameter, 1 meter long, and I order them in packs of 10. And that's what we get. So it's just a nice size to keep hold of while you're swinging it around. And bearing in mind that the other end is on fire, you want to keep it away from you. So 1 meter I've found is a good length. The material that I'm going to set fire to is cotton, either t-shirts, sheets, whatever, but it has to be cotton. It's got to be natural material. Man-made materials, 2 reasons that I don't use them. One, if embers drop off, that material is going to stick to you or to your clothes, and it's not going to be very pleasant. And also for the environment, because you will get pieces dropping off, small embers dropping off, and obviously cotton and natural fibres are not as disastrous as man-made. So to connect the fabric to the dowel, I just use a staple gun. There's obviously different methods you can use, but obviously don't use plastic tie wraps, anything like that that's going to melt. So this is really, and a pair of scissors, this is really all we're going to need to make these up. Obviously to actually use them, we'll have other material and fluids, and we'll get into that a bit later. The sheets I use, they come from a local dry cleaners, and they're damaged beyond further use. So instead of just chucking them out, I get a few sheets from them every now and again, and then cut those to the size that I want. Different sizes. You can obviously have long sections for fire or shorter ones, depends what pattern you want to create. I generally don't go beyond halfway down the dowel, purely because if I'm holding this with the fire end down, then the flames are going to come up towards my hand. So I want a bit of a gap between the end of the material and where my hand is. But here's a piece that I cut earlier. You'll see that that one is a short section, so that will give only, what's that, 8-9 inches on the end of the dowel. Obviously other ones will be cut at different lengths to give different effects. The longer the material is, the fuller the flame will be. So I'm just going to start by rolling the first bit of material around the dowel, and then put in a few staples just to hold it in place, and then gently roll. It doesn't have to be tight. If there is a bit of slack in it, there's a few creases in this as well. The air is going to help the fire. I don't want it too thick because the staples aren't going to go through. That's still good. I think that'll do. And in the past I've found that staples do hold material on really well. Just cut off any excess. Doesn't matter if there's a little floppy bit at the end. And that's the stick made. Simple as that. So this is a stick that I've used before, and as you can see, the material has stayed on, but a lot of it's burnt away, and the stick has shown signs of where the flames come up. Eventually these will get weak and they will break, the sticks, but this is it's been through 3 lots so far, so we'll get it ready for its 4th. So I'm going to put a bit less material on this one than last time. Only just. So again, just roll the material around a couple of rolls and then hold it in place with staples. Don't need to put an awful lot of material on here because it's going to soak up the fluid quite well. I think that'll do. Cut off the excess. And that's another stick ready for use. So as I say, you can reuse these a few times. I've only had one that's broken on me, that got weak and snapped, but it wasn't lit at the time because I test them, check them on the ground first, make sure they're not going to give way. I'm going to be using these on the beach. You don't want to use these near vegetation or anything flammable. As I say, bits are going to drop off, they'll get blown in the wind and you don't know exactly where they're going to go. So I always use a beach, plus you're near water, so if there is an accident you've got somewhere to get in and put the fire out. However, I will be taking a fire extinguisher, some paraffin, soak the sticks in, and that's what we'll set fire to, and a windproof lighter. Just move that. So I'll take this tray with me as well and put it on a slight incline, and then this is what I'll rest the sticks in when they're not in use. And I'll also pour the paraffin on them here, and then anything that doesn't soak in straight away goes to the bottom of the tray, and the row of sticks will slowly soak up most of that. So when the stick burns out, or I extinguish it in the sea, that's not going to go straight back into that tray, because there's going to be paraffin in that tray, and the last thing I want is that to set alight. So this gets the end that I hold, and it gets stuck in the sand, and then the residual paraffin can burn out, or this can just smoke away and cool down until it's fully extinguished. You don't need to order timber or dowels specifically. Anything you've got lying around. This is an old broomstick, does the job perfectly well, and it's a bit thicker but it doesn't make any difference. It's all down to the material that you put on it as to the duration of the flames. And that's one that I've used before, another old broomstick. This one's been used quite a few times. It's not the same quality timber as the dowels, and as you can see, it's split. And it got used a few times and then it just broke off. But again, I was testing it in the ground and it snapped, so it wasn't while it was lit. But that again, I can put a small piece of material on here, and that's reusable. So there are 6 new sticks made up, all different lengths of material, and that's the previously used one from before. So I'll make up all the others. I won't use them all on one night out, but we'll get through a few of them. So I'll get them finished and we'll head out. So we're now down on the beach, and as you can see, the paraffin's well away from the tray. The fire extinguisher is separate as well. They're new poles, so I've not tried them in the sand to see if they'll break. Now pouring the paraffin onto the poles. The first 2 are similar length material, so keep those together. Turn them over. Make sure they're fully covered. And then I'll push them into the corner because the tray is on a slight incline, and then start on the smaller sticks, the smaller material. Make sure that's fully covered. And this one has 2 sections of material with a gap in between, so try not to get it on the dowel. And again, shove it to the end and let it soak up the spillage. Paraffin well away again. Always bear in mind the wind direction and hold the stick away from you so that the wind blows the flames away from you as well. So when the shutter's open, I'm spinning the stick, and when the camera operator says stopped, I hold the stick away so that the wind's blowing the flames away again. And we keep doing that until we get the settings right. Once the stick's finished with, it gets stuck in the sand.